gonna shake it off.
Well, I hope that was in there because we are now live.
Just shake it off.
Shake it off.
That's all there is to it.
That's all you have to do. Just shake it off.
I'm gonna quickly say hi to everyone that's in here.
Say hi to everyone.
Spooky Noodles. Nick is in here. We've got Melissa in the house. M is already here. We were just talking about you, M. Heidi. We've got Jay here, but Jay's doing his own live show, so I don't think he's even watching right now.
He could be.
HD, thank you for coming and joining. And we've got Linda that's in here as well. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming and hanging out with the masked authors here. Don't they look fantastic? Can we give them a hand? I hope that's not too loud.
Everyone clap in the chat so we can hear it.
Woo! Everyone put the little
That's the only thing
hands
that's missing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sound effects. Perfect. Okay, so before I let these wonderful people introduce themselves, I just want to say I do have a little bit of an announcement that I'm going to give at the end of the show. So if you stick around for the whole time, then you'll know what it is. If you are coming to watch this after the fact, I'm going to let it go for about a week. So just make sure you listen to the end, or I guess you can just skip to the end if you're watching after the fact. Anyhow.
That's how you hook
and we've got. That's how you hook them.
Yep.
Yeah. Hook and reel.
Wait just 2 hours of people talking. That's all there is.
That's right. Jay is watching because they're not on until 8:30. So
okay, good.
Hello, Jay. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Hey, Juicy. What's up?
That's a great name.
I sound like I can't breathe. Maybe I can't. Listen, and I just finished wearing a mask all day long since they're back here.
I know. Is it weird that like after a year and a half, almost 2 years of wearing masks, this doesn't really feel that weird anymore? Exactly. It's almost like I actually felt naked when you logged in. What's that?
When you took it off.
Yeah.
When I take it off, it'll be like it's it's like taking your pants off at the end of the day.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like
I know.
Even if I'm by myself, I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah,
feels
exactly.
dirty and you kind of like it,
I shouldn't be able to breathe. That's ridiculous.
Oh man,
why
then
can
you
I
have to
smell
put it
something
back
that isn't
on.
my own breath? Come on, it happens to us all throughout the day. I'm
Drink
sure.
too much coffee, and there we go. Okay, let's let these wonderful people introduce themselves. Braedon, why don't we start with you?
Ladies first, Monica. Ladies first.
Ladies first. Okay, Monica.
That's sexist. I'm just kidding. I'll take it. I'm just kidding. That's something Hebelo would say.
That was very gentlemanlike. Thank you, Monica. Okay, why don't you introduce yourself?
Shots
and tell
fired
us a little bit about
early
you.
on, Monica. For real?
That's the way you do it. Yeah.
So I'm Monica. I just released my first novel, Swine. I wrote poetry for a while. And as Braedon knows, I study neuroscience, and so that creeps into my writing quite a lot. I've written some short stories that are very creepy, not from the typical lens, but looking into some mental disorders that most people don't write about. So yeah.
M says swine is the shiz. It's the shiz. I haven't heard the shiz for years.
It's time for it to come back, really.
I'm still trying to convince M that Jack the murderer wouldn't have murdered her.
Well, I feel bad because I don't have a copy of her book as of yet, but I do have Braedon's here. Ungodly. Look at that gorgeous beast. And I do have a copy of Marcus's here.
It reminds me
That's
of
the gorgeous beast.
That
dude, I had to reinforce my shelf to hold the book.
That seems about. I mailed out 3 of them yesterday, signed copies, and honest to God, I was carrying them with a limp. 3 of them in a bag. It was, it's a good 5 pounds at least. But yeah, no, that cover is paid for itself at this point.
M says ungodly is the shiz too. I like the shiz. I'm bringing it back. M's bringing it back.
It's time for it to come back, really.
Thank you, Juicy. All right, Braedon.
I'll second that, Juicy Stack. So my name is Braedon, I'm a happily married man to a lovely woman. I'm not sure I always deserve, but she's put up with me for 18 years now. We have 2 beautiful boys together, and courtesy of them, I have a coffee mug that says "Best Dad Ever." And whether or not that's true or not, I think it's worth mentioning here. And I think the reason we're here is because I am the author of this book, as you just held up. And this book has found quite a fan base, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. And beyond that, I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming and for having this fun with all the masks, you guys, even though we can't breathe. I guess Monica can.
I was the smart one.
I can breathe. It's just...
Well, I can't see, so I guess...
Yeah, there you go. We're all giving up a sense of some kind.
That's right. Maybe it's a good thing that you can't see, though. I mean, maybe the breathing, I don't know, because all they hear in the mic is...
I mean, I could do a little Todd Kiesling horn narration if you absolutely need it to later. But we'll save that for after the announcement that's coming in 2 hours. So.
Ooh. Now you're teasing. Okay, Marcus, introduce yourself, even though everyone knows who you are.
Hi. Here we go. I'm Marcus Hawke, and I wrote The Miracle Sin. I've had some stories published in some magazines. There it is. Some magazines and some anthologies and blood rights.
Weren't you supposed to say, I wrote that?
I wrote that. It's great.
It's great.
It's put downable.
Way to sell yourself. Way to sell yourself.
No, it means you can put it down. It's okay. You don't have to hold. You're gonna get your hands will go numb.
Listen, I need a workout. Okay.
Okay. You do you. And what else? Oh, and lastly, more recently, I'm editing and curating stories for a vampire anthology for Blood Rights Horror right now.
Ooh.
So if you're out there and you got them, smoke them.
Hey, James, thanks for joining us. I'm Marcus Duck.
Fuck you. I love you too, Mike. Thanks for showing up.
Duck, quick. He's swinging. Strange, thanks for coming. Okay, first question is probably something all of you guys have answered, maybe have already answered on my channel, Marcus. What got you guys into writing, and specifically, what drew you into horror?
Who's going first?
Who's going? Yeah,
come on, Braedon, jump right in there.
You may go.
Good. What got us into writing? Reading. I mean, I think every writer is a reader first and foremost. So, honestly, I thought about this recently. Like, when you read something and you love it, and it has an impact and an effect on you. Those are synonyms, but you know where I'm going with this. Something about that makes you want to recreate it and share it with others if you can. And I think we've been fortunate enough to be able to do that. I've definitely been fortunate enough to be able to do that. So that's that was a long journey to get to this point for sure. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad I stuck it out. I don't know. That's what more can you say, really?
And now you're stuck doing it.
Yes, very true.
How long have you been writing, Marcus?
Writing? Let's see. I actually, it's funny. I was doing some house cleaning here, and I actually found the first story I ever submitted, and it was in 2007 or 8, I think. Oh, wow. First time I ever submitted, but even going further back, I did really well in English and creative writing in high school. So forever. That's the answer.
That's pretty impressive. Man.
Yeah. Well, I agree. No.
I was really talking about the creative writing part, because I failed creative writing in high school.
Did you?
But it's not for a reason that you might imagine. I showed up the wrong day to turn in the final project, and she failed me on account of that.
Oh no!
It was worth so much. It was weighted so heavily that I failed. But so hey, that's one up on Marcus tonight. I didn't really start writing until 10 years ago, maybe. And it was all because of Dean Koontz. I started out reading Dean Koontz and then slowly but surely got into Stephen King. And, I think wanting to recreate, kind of alluding to what Marcus said, is wanting to recreate these worlds that these great authors create. And, that sense of suspense that Dean Koontz creates, that sense of horror that Stephen King creates, and specifically his small town settings.
Yes.
I think it's trying to get into that type of thing that inspired me. And plus, as Marcus alluded to as well, the therapeutic power that writing has. It's just, it's powerful. And, this book right here, it's pure therapy, no doubt about it.
That too. Very
it's
much
also
that
very
too.
good. It's very good.
Well, I thank you for that.
Monica, it's therapy on both sides.
I didn't put
the end of the pen and then on the receiving end, the reading end.
Exactly. That's the point. Exactly. It's a shared. It's almost like a conversation you have, just sort of delayed quite a bit.
I didn't pull the Hebelo on you this time, Monica.
What was that?
I didn't pull the Hebelo on you.
I'll be honest. I still don't know what that is.
Hebelo is, well, I guess you just have to read it. It's a special character.
Oh, I see. Okay.
What is
I hear we're getting a prequel about him, of course.
I was just really hoping it wasn't an app I was unfamiliar with or something like that.
Behind the times, Marcus. Behind the times.
Hey, I'm probably the only one here not on TikTok, so there you go.
Hey, I'm not. And
all right.
Only good. 20, so I should be.
Dude, I'm not on.
Yes.
All right, great. So I'm not. All right.
Yeah.
Man, what do the kids do these days? I don't even know.
Listen, I'm not a kid, and I'm guilty. But I will defend myself that it's strictly for promoting the authors.
Out of context, that could lead to a hefty prison sentence. I'm not a kid, and I'm guilty.
Yeah, James isn't on anything. He's not even on Instagram. I keep telling him to come over to Instagram and come look at all of our photos and meet all of these fantastic authors. And he keeps saying, I don't know.
Oh, what's my shirt say?
What does it say?
It's a Hannibal shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This is my design.
Okay. Such a good show.
How about you, Monica? What got you into writing, specifically horror?
So I'm a bit more methodical, I would say. I mean, I'm a neuroscientist, so it's not shocking that I'm a bit rigid in the way that I do things. But
I like
I really like the idea of creating a puzzle and telling someone what you mean and arguing with them in a very roundabout way. Mm-hmm. So everything in my novel, all the names have meaning. I won't tell people until after, but because it'll spoil the whole thing if I tell people like what each name means. But, every little thing, every little word has some kind of purpose in guiding someone toward an answer that I want them to reach by the end. And I really like being able to, maybe it's a bit argumentative, but I definitely like being able to come up with a very full, cohesive answer to a big question in life and plan it all out and have someone get exactly what I want out of it before entering an argument where they can argue back with me.
I like that. I like that a lot.
But
that's intriguing.
What was that?
It's very intriguing. Just saying that, now it makes me want to read it and then wait for you to release that information.
I know a couple people know what the names mean, but it definitely, if you know ahead of time, it spoils it. Because then you'll know who dies, you'll know who doesn't die.
Well, Hebelo sounds like it could be hemoglobin with the words fudged around.
Marcus, you sound so intelligent.
I don't think anyone's ever said that to me before.
Call me a first. Okay, Braedon, what about you? What got you into writing, and specifically horror? And maybe you'll have to tell us a little bit more about the mask and where that kind of came from, because I know that's probably going to be a question that's going to pop up in here at some point, if you feel okay talking about it.
You directed this question to me. I'm sorry, I didn't hear who you said.
Yes.
Thought she wanted Marcus, because that mask is great, by the way.
What?
Yeah, so the mask, I'm sorry, brother.
No. I was going to say, I'll bet your mask came from Spirit of Halloween, but I think she meant in a longer picture or a bigger picture sort of way.
Nice. Yeah, so the mask came about simply as a request by my wife to maintain a thread of anonymity, if you will. She's like, we have kids in play, Braedon. I don't want, this book gets out there. It's kind of uncomfortable for a lot of folks. Let's keep this, okay, whatever. And then it became, I don't know, it became a direct association with the book. People started associating the mask with the book, and it's kind of gained momentum. And at this point, why change a good thing? It is it is what it is, I guess.
Don't pull that trigger. Keep it on.
Marcus, you commented on it. You said, I believe you referenced Kiss.
Yeah.
Even when they took off their makeup and put it right back on.
Yeah. There's record sales dropped.
Yep.
Plus, it's fun. There's that mystery and intrigue that, let's face it, this book is certainly mysterious if it's anything at all. So, kind of a direct correlation. Why not? It works.
I agree. Keep that on there. So what drew you?
You look like King Diamond.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me about that.
I was going to say, that's spot on.
You're full of niceties tonight, my friend.
What happened, Marcus? What happened? Why are you being nice? We don't do that.
What?
But he's Canadian. And word is that all Canadians are born naturally nice and good and all that fun stuff.
When the two of you leave, believe me, it'll just be a mud-flinging monkey fest.
That's an excellent question, Mike Salt. I wish, and in fact, if I had more than one, and I told somebody this before, instead of sending bookmarks, when I send it, it's just a book, and I hope it's good enough. If it's not, I tried. I don't have bookmarks or anything like that, but if I did have extra masks, I would send this in lieu of bookmarks. But unfortunately, this is the only one, my man. But in a perfect world, you'd have one.
One and only. What got you into writing, and specifically what pulled you into horror, Braedon?
Still on me.
Still on you. You're on the spotlight, dude. Spotlight's on you.
I don't really think I had a choice. Because I don't think I really had a choice in terms of genre selection. If we want to point the finger at anyone, point it to my mom for introducing me to horror films at way too early of an age. I'm just kidding. I love her for it. It's all good. But I think horror is that perfect playground to exercise demons that aren't necessarily easy to in other endeavors, in other genres, if you will. So at least it's that way for me. But
sorry, Braedon, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing at Lewis. But really, this is the real problem of the mask. Okay, like what do I do? to try to stick it on.
You should have fashioned you some type of a hole just to make it work.
Just pop one of those aerators out.
Although this thing was stupid expensive, so then I probably would have been crying.
If you got it from Spirit of Halloween, I'm sure it was because.
These are from Spirit Halloween too. Yeah. My goggles, my second set of eyes there. Yeah, that's too funny. So I guess this kind of goes hand in hand because a couple of you guys had mentioned families with all this. Are your families supportive of you with what you do? Whether it's they read your work or they just leave you alone and give you the time to write when you need it. Marcus, you go first. I'm just gonna start poking fingers at people.
My family barely knows what I do. There's something that you see memes and stuff like this go around and people go, ha, that's funny, but it's absolutely true. Like where you say, oh look, you show something you wrote to your family, like, oh, that's nice. Always with these kind of eyes too. It's like, oh yeah, right, okay, good. I'll totally read that. In truth, it's probably best if they don't, because I don't think I want many members of my family reading.
No.
Well, let's just say it would probably lead to a like, are you okay? Like, you need to talk. You're right.
Are any of us okay?
Yeah,
No?
exactly. Right. So I mean, why have that conversation? It's just easier if they don't know. So, but yeah, no, I mean I mean, the members of my family who are who do know about it are supportive, and I don't think any of them have actually read it yet. At least if they have, they haven't told me. And I'm pretty sure if they did, they would probably be knocking on the door, so to speak. So,
What did I just read?
Support, yeah, kind of. Yeah, there's not that the whole thing is weird. There's good stuff in it too. It's just there's there's blood and there's guts and there's sex and there's comments about dildos and things like that. It's your average,
there you go, everyone.
It's your average. It's your average stocking stuffer, right?
Sorry, you said it's a stocking stuffer?
Sure.
If I got this in my stocking, I would be screaming like a little girl on Christmas morning.
Well, then it's perfect.
People should do that.
Yeah.
How about you,
I don't
Braedon?
know if the stocking is going to hold that big one.
Yeah, no. You need one of the comically sized, the novelty.
No. It's the other kind of stocking, the STALKING kind of stocking.
I like that type of stocking, though. I tell
don't know how
you.
you put anything in there.
It's stocking and stuffer, not stocking stuffer.
A stalker's stocking. No.
Stock and stuff them in the trunk.
Yeah. Are you okay? Do you need to talk to anyone?
I really like Monica.
Just us here. Like... Yeah.
Well, if you like bad comedy,
I don't know. Yes, that's what I like.
Read Swine.
Yes. I've got the biggest smile under here. You just can't see it except for the squinty eyes. I stalk Marcus all the time. I mean, he doesn't live that far from me. So, I mean...
Oh, look at the time. Oh,
he did this stupid thing too, and I somehow got his address. I mean, like...
Yeah.
Anyways,
default.
Now, Braedon, I'm assuming that your family, because you had mentioned that your wife, she said, all I ask is that you just don't put your identity out there. I'm assuming that she's really supportive of you, whether she reads your stuff or whether she just sits back and gives you the time to write.
She reads my fiction, but, is it her preferred type of fiction? By all means, no. She would rather nestle up to a Nicholas Sparks story, no doubt. Yeah. And in fact, I just scooped his latest for her just last week. So she loves it, and she can recall she loves it. It's not her preferred type, but she does indeed love it. Maybe it's just because it's me, but she can recall something I wrote maybe 10 years ago and recall it very vividly, even though she didn't necessarily enjoy it. She can just, maybe because it's mine, she remembers. But anyone else, I'm kind of like Marcus. I don't let them. They don't need to read this. It doesn't. It's not going to improve our family relations. How about that? And if it's not going to improve anything, just leave it alone.
And if it did, might raise some eyebrows.
That's okay. More for me. Bring it on. I'm not family. I'll read it.
Yeah.
Just send it my way.
It is funny though. Like I noticed sometimes you'll get all kinds of support and praise and stuff from complete strangers, whereas some of the people that you may know closest in your life, it's not that they're not supportive. It's just much more tepid, I guess. You know what I mean?
Kay's hiding in the corner there thinking, oh man, what's going on here?
Who is?
Kay, you're close to Marcus. If I'm stalking Marcus, I'm coming after you next. I mean, I'm just saying, so you guys better watch out.
I'm putting the latch on tonight, that's for sure.
It's like, do you have problems sleeping, Marcus?
Does a bear shit in the woods? Yeah.
I don't know, do they? How about you? How about you, Monica? Are you the same type of feels?
No, I'm the total opposite. I force everyone to read my book.
Good for
Everyone
you,
in
good for
immediate
you.
family, I'm like, you will buy a copy or I will never talk to you again. I'm just, I know my mom has already agreed to get Nightmares. She's not going to look at the pictures and she's going to skim. My dad read it in its early stages. My brother and his girlfriend are actually extremely supportive, especially, yeah.
See you, Mike.
Bye, Mike.
Yeah, I'm just trying to milk out the sales through my family.
Yeah.
At least immediate family. The extended family is not the same.
No, just the people that you know and you're really close with and you really trust, right?
Yeah, I remember some of them started reading my poetry, and my mom and my dad got a lot of messages that were like, "Is she okay?"
Exactly.
Really?
Right?
Oh no, she's just fine.
It's just a phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. The best phase ever.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
You will
I think
buy my copy.
people think that when they read something like that came from you, that means that you're, in a bad way or something like that. When it's kind of like
every character that's your mindset or that's how you behave.
Yeah.
Which couldn't be further from the truth.
No. It's sort of like, well, Monica, you mentioned Hannibal a minute ago. It's sort of like being able to be Will Graham and like see things from a point of view that maybe you don't agree with or even like and might disturb you, but there it is, you can put it out there.
Yeah.
So it does. True. It's not. Yeah, and that's true of, I think, probably most art. It's a reflection of something, but it's not necessarily. It's not a warning. Well, it is and it isn't. Like we all have different sides.
You said like a reflection. So it may be a piece of you, or you might be reflecting something within you, but it's not exactly directly who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you going to be insulted when people think I'm going to do something? I'm like, if I was going to do something, why would I write about it? Like I'm an intelligent person. You really think I'm going to put my whole plan into a book and publish it? Like, come on, guys.
Well, although they say hide right directly under the spotlight, if you're right out in the open, that's where you're the safest. So maybe we should trust Monica.
I was actually going to do something you would never know.
Yeah, that's right. It's all in my book and it's all my master plan.
I think someone would be able to put those pieces together if they were exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sometimes Braedon sits so still and he's got that dark look, the atmosphere around him, it almost looks like he's a legit doll. You're freaking me out over here, man.
Yep.
Maybe he's practicing for the stocking stuffers.
Yeah. Okay,
for Christmas.
We need to make that a legit thing for Christmas. Okay, you and I need to have a conversation.
I'm always looking for a new hustle. You knock them up, I'll set them down. Or no, how does it go? You set them up, I'll knock them down. Yeah, you knock them down, then I'll set them up. That makes sense.
We need to have some type of stocking stuffer exchange,
Secret Santa,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here's a question I love to ask, and actually was a fellow author friend, Robert Otone, that gave me this question one day. And Marcus, you've already answered it. You're going to answer it again. But if you could rewrite any classic, it doesn't have to be a horror classic, but put your own dark spin on it, which one would you pick?
I forget what I said. So
then you
brand new opportunity.
This was months ago now. I don't remember.
Monica said you know exactly.
I know exactly what I would do.
Okay, go for it.
You go for it, and I'll think about it.
The Great Gatsby, because I hated it, and I think I think that Gatsby was a total creep, and it could have gone very dark very quickly. And all the girls in my class were like, "Oh my God, he's so cute!" And I'm like, "He's stalking this girl and like changing his whole life for her. It could turn very predatory very quickly, and I think that would be a good horror route." And I also already hated the book, so I think it could be. I think that would be an improvement in my eyes.
Yes, I agree.
Remember what happened in it. I know I read it in high school, but I don't know.
Some guy stalks this girl and has a very unhealthy relationship, and then she runs over a person, and then he ends up like getting shot or something. I forgot how he died.
So it's a romance.
Yeah.
A classic romance. Yeah, I gotta interrupt everybody, and I gotta do this.
Shakespearean romance.
Because Heidi said that she just picked up a copy of Monica and Marcus's book.
Hey, thank you. That's More appreciative I could not be, but I have to ask, why when did we start doing that? What
Listen.
That was a pretty cool effect.
Yeah.
I like it.
Listen, I was shaking my cat. Don't worry, the cat's fine. Ha ha ha! You guys are really gonna let that joke fall flat? Come on.
So many questions.
You
My
can't see
cat
me
I put
smiling,
away
but
in
it's ear to
the
ear.
bedroom where
It's
she's
ear to
safe.
ear. I'm laughing.
Oh man, yeah, Jetsy. One day when I was doing a live show, Heidi was in here and she picked up a copy of the book. Heidi is extremely supportive, you guys. She picks up almost every single author that I've had on here if she doesn't already have the book already. So, and I know Heidi's already read Ungodly. However, I don't know, one day I was making a joke saying I need to have like one of those big, huge bells, so if somebody purchased a copy during a live show, I can start ringing it. So I pulled out my little Christmas bells.
Oh, okay.
And whenever somebody purchased a copy, then I ring the bells. But I had a couple people ask if I was shaking my cat because it sounds like a cat collar.
You just need more cowbell. You just need more cowbell.
Exactly.
Absolutely. There's only one
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you. That's
solution to
very
that
sweet of you.
problem. No, thank you, Heidi. That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
M says Monica and Jack are going to murder her. She just knows
Jack
it.
is my murderer.
Definitely not Monica. Jack, all bets are off. Who knows?
Hey, Jack came from my brain. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait
Hey,
a minute.
Crystal.
We just set up a lot of ground here to let people know that what goes on in here is not real.
Well, maybe for you. No.
Oh, okay.
Speak
Yeah,
for
I was gonna
yourself.
say not even just a little bit.
I'm establishing my alibi.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You
Oh,
heard it
good,
here.
good, good.
In case I need a
First.
defense later at the hearing.
Hey, Crystal, thank you for coming. Yeah, I tell you, gotta try to keep these things comfortable for any length of time. Okay, now I've got Monica's answer. That was a great answer. I haven't had that book yet, so that was superb. Braedon, Marcus, have you guys picked one yet? Or did we kind of get lost with the cat bells?
I thought we may have, but I still, yeah.
The cat bells changed everything. Total game changer.
That's always that's the way you change any game is with the cowbells.
Sorry. You can blame Heidi, not me.
Heidi's
Blame
good
Christopher
people.
Walken because it's his fault.
Heidi is really good people. Yes.
I think I keep thinking Misery, but I don't know what I would do with it different. Maybe make it. Maybe I'd flip it around so that she, wants to keep him and he wants to stay, and then won't leave. And she tries to kick him out and be like, "Okay, enough of you," and be like, "No, this is."
I'm not going anywhere.
Misery 2, Stockholm
Misery.
Syndrome.
No, it's like Misery. It starts coming out with Misery merch and delivering it to her house, and she has to be home for parcels, and it's a nightmare. You know what I mean? Like he drives her crazy. Haha. There you go.
I like it. I would
More
read
crazy.
both of those.
Yeah.
I would read both of those. So you guys got to get on it now.
Is that not your favorite by King? I swear
It is.
I read
It is, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Very nice.
Yeah. Way to go.
I try to learn about the people who I'm going to be, attending the show with, and obviously you're famous anyway, Marcus.
Oh,
so
Oh,
Monica's on her way. Her book just released, so it's a process, right?
I was
Takes a
about
little
to
bit of time.
my sunglasses on, but I don't have them. So there you go.
You're good, dude. Signed,
there you
sealed,
go.
delivered,
Pose. Strike a pose. Why do we always go to the hands right away when somebody says strike a pose?
Everything's
Jazz
better
hands.
with cowbell and jazz hands.
That's right. Okay, wait. Go for it. Jazz hands. You were too slow, Marcus.
Okay.
Ah,
Now you were too slow. I'm too slow.
the leg.
We'll
Okay,
rehearse.
Braedon,
We'll
what
work
about
on it.
you? Yeah, that's right. We'll have to practice for a good hour afterwards. Okay. Okay. All right. Good.
We're
What about
talking
you, Braedon?
classics. See, I'm not as well. I'm almost ashamed to admit it. I'm not as well read on classics, but
That's okay.
let's
Classics are
consider
everything.
anything pre-90s of Stephen King classic if we can. Is that fair? Marcus, you're a Stephen King fan. Monica, you as well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Pre-90s. Let's just go with that route. I love the Tommy knockers. Would I have taken the flying coat machine out of play? Yes, I would have. I don't think that. Look, that was a great book, and even Stephen King said it himself. Of the 700 pages, there was probably a good 300-page novel somewhere in there, and I believe it. But I'd still take it and reread it, all 700 plus pages. But would I have removed the flying coat machine? Yes, and that's the only thing I would have changed. How about that? I don't want to alter anyone's work. I know how much hard work goes into it, so let it stand.
Sounds good to me. I was gonna say, M's right. Braedon knows everything about everyone. The magic is in the mask. Be careful what you tell Braedon, because clearly he's got a really good memory, and he'll remember everything.
I just use Wikipedia. That's how I learned how to write a novel. How to write a novel on Wikipedia, and it showed me the way.
That would be. I don't know about that, but good suggestion, whoever you are.
I would like to know who this is.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody whose name is very similar to mine. I don't know. Yeah.
It's not you. Just tapping away there on your computer.
No, clearly clearly the name is Hawke Mock.
That's where the fame. That's proof of the fame, my man. Whenever you have a screen name that is a play on your name, that's right. That's it, dude. You've made it. You have arrived.
Yeah, I mean, Hawke is obviously mocking you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. What's great. Now, yeah, you've made it when you have a troll.
Now you guys are going to hear nothing but my kids screaming and having fun on the trampoline. He's going to add to the murderous sounds in this show, okay? Hey, Epic, how are you?
That's okay.
I swear, it's all happy fun.
It's all fun and games until somebody double bounces when they're not prepared.
Usually it's mom on there trying to make them double bounce, though.
Yeah.
Well,
then they should be safe while you're here. Yes.
They're good. Nobody's going to break a leg tonight. We're all good.
Let's hope.
Who is some or one or a couple of your inspiring authors? Is Stephen King one of them for many of you? I know Marcus. Except for he said he didn't like Stephen King in the interview I did with him.
I didn't say that. I alluded to it, and then there was a cutaway. That was fun. He definitely is for me. I also love Anne Rice, Joe Hill, Nick Cutter, good Canadian author, Patrick Rothfuss, Kellen Patrick Burke, much more recent addition, but one I'm a big fan of myself. More that I'm sure will come to me in a few minutes when it's somebody else's turn. But yeah.
Monica, how about you?
Ray Bradbury, all-time favorite author. I haven't even read that much by him, but Something Wicked and Fahrenheit 451 and what is it? The Martian Chronicles is a big one. Just brilliant I like Stephen King, but he's not my favorite. I definitely Ray Bradbury.
Wait for all the hate. Duck, Monica, duck.
I like him. He's just not my favorite.
Not everything.
I started writing long before I started reading horror, so definitely wasn't as influenced by him.
No, I'm right there with you. I like him, but I haven't read near as much as some people, and it's kind of hit and miss for me with his work. Some of it I just love, and some of it I'm kind of like, I didn't really need to go there, but it's all good.
I think I've read about 30 books by him, so I've read a decent amount, but
more than me. Yeah.
He's definitely one of my favorites, but not number one. It's got to be Ray.
451 is one book I think everyone should read. If you're at all a reader, you should read that book at some point.
Which one? One more time.
Fahrenheit 451.
Why are you adding to my list, Marcus?
You haven't read it? See, now that's disappointing.
Why? I'm sorry. Why am I adding to your list?
Yeah.
Because apparently it's that easy.
Oh.
I mean, all I had to do was mention it.
Okay, listen, my review reads has officially hit 150 books. So yeah, it is that easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's another Brum book out there that you don't know about, I'll mention that, and then you can read that one.
Don't
No,
do
see,
that.
look at the eyes widen. Holy crap! That was like right on cue.
I'm reading The Child Thief right now in between
yeah.
my review
Yeah, yeah.
reads.
Good one.
Yes. How about you, Braedon?
1A. Let's go 1A, 1B. Dean Koontz, Stephen King, just because I was introduced to Dean Koontz before Stephen King. Beyond that, William Peter Blatty. Is it Blatty? I always you think that's it. The Exorcist.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Beyond that, I mean, truthfully, Dean Koontz and Stephen King, those were my guys. That's who I learned the craft from. That's what got me into writing to begin with. So, yeah, I'm good with those two. Dean Koontz, Stephen King.
There's that one person, or it's not always one, but you can usually track it back to one person who sort of plants like a little dark, seed in your brain, and then it grows into a fungus.
It festers.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I'm so lame. I just started because I liked it.
Very well. That's a good. That's maybe the best reason.
Yeah.
We do have an argument about the Sunshine song with my mom about what the metaphor means. When I was 2, sitting on her lap, and she's like, "No, you have to go to bed." And I was like, "No, you will argue about this metaphor."
When you were how old?
2.
Oh.
I was a loudmouth.
See, I like her even more. This is.
I mean, I still am, but
it all makes sense. Swine makes sense.
Oh man, that's it. Jab after jab. Braedon, you took a while to give a jab back to her. She gave you one right when she got in here.
The night is young.
I know. I was going to say I've either been part of or seen many of these, and this is so far easily the most cordial one of these. So group of people so far. Usually it's nothing but fucks and shits and.
Mike's not here.
Dude,
I wasn't sure if we were okay to go all out like that.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Welcome
if
to the
doesn't
internet.
like it, they'll kick me.
In terms of the language, I've got 2 boys so my language is naturally adjusted per my listening audience. So
I have younger siblings, so I'm the same. Well, I try. Sometimes I get yelled at.
Sometimes it slips out.
The writer of the book Ungodly, that's another conversation. But in terms of me, in the normal day-to-day, it's toned down.
It's tamed. It's tamed.
Everything becomes poopy heads, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I do have a question in the chat.
Yes.
But before we ask that
ask us
question,
questions, guys. Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say I didn't even say that at the beginning. What type of host am I? If you've got questions, put them in the chat. If I miss them, put them in again.
The best kind who keeps it going for 40 minutes without any questions. So
sure. I've got a question before I pop this one up because it goes with the question that I just asked.
Sure.
How does it make you guys feel knowing that your work is going to inspire future authors? No laughing, because this is an honest question.
It is an honest question,
Marcus.
That's no laughing. Give it an honest answer. That is something that
terrifies you, scares you.
No, I don't know if it terrifies me. It's something that I don't think really has. I've seen I haven't seen that particular fruit of my labor, so maybe once it actually happens, if it happens, when it happens, whatever you want to say, then I'll just curl into a ball and weep happy tears.
I mean, better to inspire authors than to inspire serial killers.
You may do a little bit of both. I mean,
yeah. If anything winds up in a shooting, I think I'll be like, maybe time to try pottery or something.
Whoops! My book got into the wrong hands, man.
Yeah. Yep. But
shrug it off, dust it off.
Yeah. That's what. Hey, then.
But it's coming. It's coming because you've got so many people out there, even that like I've been within the community that wasn't an author or wasn't even a writer, but they're slowly starting to put stuff out there or to work on their own stuff because they're being inspired by what they're reading and what they're reviewing on their channels. So I'm just thinking, all of these indie and small press authors, you guys have no clue, but your guys' work is inspiring other people to put out their stories. So you are going to be those big names that people are going, man, you're my inspiration.
So the funny thing about that is I do know, like, in a little tiny degree about that, because I have a friend who did a friend, not a family member, but a friend who yeah, I have one friend. Look at me, who did read the book and was inspired to write something that she'd had in her head for a long time, and then she showed it to one of her friends, and it inspired her to start working on something. So that's already like a little bit of a ripple effect, and it's to see that was actually really cool.
So how do you guys feel that one of these days I'm going to have an author on here that's new, just released something, or an up and coming author, and when I ask them that question on who is an author that inspired them, or a handful of authors, how are you going to feel when they mention your guys' names?
Depends. Are they a good author or a bad author?
I don't know yet.
That's $1 million question.
Good because they were influenced by you, Monica.
Okay.
They're good.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, you know what? In my eyes, every single author, every single writer is good because there's a market for every book out there. There's going to be somebody that loves it.
Putting pen to page is, so to speak, is an act of bravery, I think, and it takes a lot to try to endure, to keep going with it.
Yes. To
put it out there, to hear what people have to say back, to take feedback if they have it, to take, I don't want to say insults, but there's people out there who don't like something and then they slam it, and things like that. That takes a lot, right? I mean, it's an exercise.
Everyone's not going to love it.
No, not everyone's going to like everything you write. I've had that
should they.
too. No,
nor should they.
Nothing. We always say that it's a common turn of phrase, right? It's not for everybody, but what is really? Find me something that's for everybody.
If it's for everyone,
not lactose intolerance.
If it's for everyone, it's too safe in my book, and it's not worth writing. If it's too safe, it's too pedestrian, and I likely don't have enough gas to even write it because it's not of interest.
Don't tell your wife, but I'm no Nicholas Sparks fan. It's good for him, and it's good for the people who read it, but
what stays on
doesn't tingle my jingles.
He's talented. I'll give him that, but and he cites Stephen King as an influence, so there's that, and I respect that. But no, he doesn't. I'm not going to nestle up with Nicholas Sparks book.
The two lovers don't wind up dead by the end of the book. Doesn't interest me.
Does anyone have anything else to add to that before we go into Edie's question here?
I don't think so. Well, I don't, but I'm trying to point up which way is up. There's one up there. And there we go. Marcus over here. Yeah.
Marcus capped off that one well. Well said.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Favorite Stephen King book?
I'll take it.
I answered mine a second ago, but we'll come back to me in a minute.
It's it. Pennywise, clear cut. It's very long, but it's exceptional, and I love it. Every time I want to reread it, my wife looks at me like, "Are you really going to bring that cinder block to bed?" Because it's a massive book. And it's wonderful on so many levels, but no doubt, It by Stephen King. Marcus, Monica.
Unpopular opinion, I hate It.
Yeah.
I everyone hates me for it, but I thought it was. It's not for me. My favorite's got to be The Stand or The Long Walk. I can't really compare them because I read them like 3 or 4 years apart, unfortunately. So.
I never got all the way through it, not because I didn't like what I was reading, but because when I started it, the first one I ever read was Pet Sematary, and after that, then I tried. Yeah, well, I thought I'd start out nice and traumatic,
But I love that one.
It was funny too. There was a lot of humor in it.
There's stuff in there that, like, one of the most memorable parts.
What?
Pet Sematary was funny.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's some good funny parts.
The jokes with I was laughing. The author's note at the beginning. I remember reading it, and that's why I picked it up, because I was like, this is so terrifying, and I didn't really get scared. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. But I thought the whole thing was funny. I mean, because with the jokes of the what was it? The Oz the Great and Towable.
Oh, yeah.
I still remember that. I was laughing my head off, and everyone's like, well, oh, are you reading a funny book? And I'm like, it's Pet Sematary. And then everyone would be like, oh, I was traumatized. And then I watched the movie, and I thought Gage in the old one was so cute. I thought he was adorable in his little like funeral.
He was cute.
I know some people were traumatized by that, but he was so cute.
And I was traumatized by that. And I'm traumatized by you saying he was cute, even after he was... oh, Monica. We're going to have a chat after this.
Okay. It's like, and to have it set up from the beginning too, and you're like, shit, I hope that doesn't happen. And then of course, that's what happens. It's like,
got to happen, right?
Oh
the worst possible thing. Yo, it's in my top 5 by King, no doubt. I read it twice before becoming a dad. I have not read it again since I became a dad. And I'm not sure I will. There she goes.
Oh.
There she goes.
You lost our host.
No, I don't
stole the show, quite literally.
Oh no.
The show must go on. I don't think I can read that again. At least not until my boys get older, just because it's dark. It's tough.
Yeah, listen,
what is also
break.
tough is how
break.
Monica can consider that as a funny story. But you know.
And
I was thinking the same thing. Monica scares me a little bit. I think I might love you. She sounds a lot like me. So I'm right there with you.
I'm going to take a picture of that.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. There. We'll pop that back up. Yeah.
But yeah, no. I when I read it, I was in maybe 7th grade or something like that. So and it's like you said, it's a cinder block, right? So I didn't have the capacity at the time to read a 1,000+ page book. I plan to change that at some point. So I will be going back and reading it someday when I get through all the others, because there is shelf upon desk upon dresser covered with books right now. So
oh man, yeah, piles and piles and piles that you guys don't see behind the camera.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine.
I know, I lost all space in my apartment.
Yeah,
as I had to use the kitchen.
Kitchen
cabinets, and I filled them up. And so now there's stacks.
That's
all
what the top
over,
of the toilet
and my friends
tank
come in and they're like, "Oh, are these just out momentarily?" And I'm like, "No, there's literally no space for them."
I don't need food, books.
I'm like, "Do I need another first edition?" Yeah.
In the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. They're all.
Hey,
I'm like, okay, wait, I can't get the pasta like on them. I have to keep them mid condition.
Yeah. That's too funny. Okay, I'm sorry because StreamYard did its regular thing at that like 50 to an hour mark. I don't know who answered that last question or if I missed anyone.
Marcus,
what was the question?
Favorite Stephen King book?
Oh, right. So Misery would be mine. That is, if anyone has never read it and you want to, I love any story, whether it's a book or a movie or whatever.
Not guilty.
You can take a really small group of characters. In this case, it's mostly just the two of them, and make that not just interesting, but to a point that you can't even look away. Like there are a few times I've read a book and was actually gripping the pages. I remember yelling, "Hurry up! She's gonna catch you!" And things like that while reading it. So,
like yelling like you would during a movie. Why are you running up the stairs?
Funnily enough, I don't yell during movies. Well, that's.
Well, and the best thing is that the movie is also good. Like Kathy Bates is.
It is.
Like it's one of the it's probably I would say one of the best adaptations I've ever seen of any.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
Okay, did we miss anybody? Did anyone not answer that?
Oh wait, the ghost haunting my house. Let me. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
I'm kidding.
The Shining.
Yeah.
The Shining. Yeah. oh, there's the typewriter. Oh, I hear it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, here's another question. Christian wants to know, has anybody read Paradise Lost? I have not. Have any of you guys read it?
Not Paradise
I've been
Lost.
told to.
I've read The Divine Comedy, but not Paradise Lost.
Okay.
Which is
I read
the
Inferno.
same thing, except that they're... Yeah, actually, okay, so I should clarify. I didn't read all of The Divine Comedy. It was the first... Yeah, there's Inferno, Limbo, and Paradise, so I'm working through the other two. It's, again, at some point. It's all a process.
Life is a process.
Life is a process.
I mean, getting out of bed in the morning sometimes after a long day is like, man.
That's absolutely true. That's all one
That's
big
what it's going to be
process.
like for me tomorrow. How about that?
Well, you should. It's Saturday and it's a long weekend, so yeah, take your time.
Hey, I have to prepare for another live show tomorrow night.
Oh,
So
you
I gotta,
do too, don't you?
Yeah. So I
Oh,
got to
okay.
be in the jam, you know?
Right on.
But I won't be in this cool getup.
You do good, kind work. You know that.
Okay,
Well, you do
next
work.
question. I do work. What are you talking about? Hard.
Yeah, good, hard work.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm agreeing
What are you saying?
that you do good work. You always think there's some ulterior motive to what I say.
Apparently, you thought the same thing the other day between a conversation between you and I.
There
You
you
were just
go.
like, listen, you got too serious, man.
Listen, it was a long week. It's a long week.
All right. Next question. Favorite movie, any genre? Oh, man, Heidi, you put me in here too.
I have two favorites. I like I like to say there's a difference between a movie and a film. A movie is more entertainment than substance, and a film is more substance than entertainment, but that's just me. So in that case, my favorite movie would be Star Wars, and my favorite film would be Amadeus.
Okay.
Nicely done.
I've thought this through. I got a lot of time.
He was prepared.
Or I don't have a lot of time. I just have a lot of time. No, I never.
Jaws,
you,
no
Braedon?
doubt for me. Jaws.
Good choice.
Standalone,
Yeah.
best movie ever.
Yeah.
I guess it's considered horror. And I'll never understand. In fact, I put up a story one time on Instagram asking for a poll as to whether or not Jaws should have been rated PG. Because it is rated PG, and that's probably the worst misrating of a movie that I can think of.
That's
At least
1977 right there.
1975.
Yeah.
75, but and
That's
still
the
put
best
politics in play. I mean, if you're going to tell me that didn't have an impact back in the 70s, I don't know. But
Yeah.
in spite of the rating, whatever it should be, see, the only reason that's a question and the only reason it came up is because my son, he's all about ratings right now. And he says, Dad, it says Jaws is rated PG. I can watch this. E.T.'s rated PG. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
son,
those
you
two aren't
cannot.
the same.
You can watch E.T., but not Jaws. Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
I mean, I was destroyed by E.T., but in a different way.
Yeah.
Dude, those fingers. E.T.'s fingers. I mean, those creep me out. I'm not going to lie to you. I had bad dreams about E.T.
They light up.
That's dead serious. Yeah.
I can see that.
I did when they were like doing like all the testing on him when they got a hold of him, and
Yeah.
that bothered me. I was like, oh man, aliens are real, man.
I know. He's a good kind person.
Monica, what about you? Favorite movie?
So I've got two. Psycho. If I had to pick one, it would be Psycho. Obviously, I mean, neuroscience background, the psychology, the the story, the accuracy, and just the film, like the actual, filming ability and creating something scary, even though you don't have effects that are good, and keeping the person, the twist of mystery and whatnot. It's all perfect to me. And also, some of the guys are attractive. Not that
I'll
that's
have you know
important.
that Anthony Perkins made many a man happy.
But the second one is The Imitation Game.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, that's more dorky side of me. I mean,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
I still haven't read the book because that's more heavy on. It's like 2,000 pages or something. It's more about the enigma and the actual guy. But
Was Was it a novel or was it a non?
It's not a novel, I don't think. I think it's
Great
actually
movie,
detailing the history.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it was. It really
I think
was.
I had it at some point, but I lost it because I read it was
How did you
very
lose a
small print
2,000-page
and
book?
very large.
And talk about Benedict Cumberbatch. It is Cumberbatch, right?
Yep.
I hope
Yeah.
I don't butcher that.
I'm sure you wouldn't be the first.
Yeah.
No,
for sure.
I don't think so.
No, but he was the voice of Smaug.
He was.
Smaug, and wow, what
Yeah.
a job he did. That
Yeah.
voice.
I love
Smaug, the dragon anyway. Awesome all the way around, but especially the voice. Wow.
I
You know,
know those.
It was even I saw. I'm one of those people who watch the behind the scenes features on DVDs, right? So for The Hobbit, you actually can there was the motion capture work that he did for Smaug,
Yes.
and it's funny, but like when you look at the facial expressions that he made at the same time as what the dragon does, it's like you can almost see him. It's even though their faces are completely oriented differently. It's really interesting, I thought, anyway.
I watched that too. Did we just become best friends?
I guess so. There you go. Yep. Like, what is
I
it?
thought you guys already were.
Step Brothers.
He's incredible. He is. The vocals, the actual, all his agility in that motion capture, in those sequences, just incredible.
Great actor. Ridiculous.
Well, I have to answer this one too because Heidi said so. I'm not going to let her down. I'm just going to pick one, and I'm going to say the Boondock Saints.
You know, I love that one.
Yes, that's my all-time favorite. It's not horror, but
Why don't you make
I
like a
mean-
tree and get the fuck out of here?
Okay, but you gotta put the heavy accent on there. You gotta do it.
I tried. That was my attempt. Why don't you make like a tree and get the fuck out of here?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. Maybe if I like squish the mask a little bit.
Get your stupid fucking rope.
Yeah, I gotta go watch that now.
Can't believe that just fucking
thanks for
happened.
coming. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, see, yeah, that's right. Everyone knows what it's all about.
Is it shameful that I haven't seen this? Do I need to write this down? And
It's not shameful. It's just it's not that well.
I'm young enough that you can blame my parents instead of me, though. So
Yeah,
we're gonna use that
even when
card.
it came out, it was it's definitely a cult movie for sure. Like it's not a really widely known one, like in a group of
I mean, I've
people.
heard of it.
No.
Yeah,
And just the first one, not the second one.
yeah, that wasn't so good.
But you got
okay.
William Dafoe that's in there. He was really good. But this
like
is where
him.
everyone fell in love with Norman Reedus because of The Walking Dead. I was a huge fan of Norman Reedus well before The Walking Dead. And when I got to meet Norman Reedus and he gave me a bit of a shoulder massage, I was just like,
I'd love to know
Gave
what
you a bit of soldier. That's
Yeah,
a little different. Here's a
soldier-
finger.
soldier massage is a whole different thing.
This came from a soldier on the war front.
Where did he give you a shoulder massage? I missed something. What?
I got to meet him at the Calgary Comic-Con a few years back, and I got to have my picture with him. And you know when they like shuffle you through, it's like your cattle, and you know it's the guy taking the picture that's shuffling everyone through. I was kind of standing there waiting for them to like, yeah, you can come in now. And it was Stephen Yeun and Melissa. Oh, what's her last name? She plays Carol in The Walking Dead, and Norman Reedus.
That's all you had to say.
And they approached us because I was like, well, should I go forward? Like, is it my turn? And they just kind of looked at the camera guy and kind of put their hand up like, shut up. Walked over to me. Norman Reedus grabbed my hand, pulled me right in front of him, and he just kind of rolled my shoulders a little bit. And I was just like, oh my God.
Keep going. Feels good.
Yeah,
Right there.
exactly. I did want to leave. I was okay, a little bit lower. But yeah, no, it was great. And got to shake their hands. And
Normally, that's a
everything.
service that you don't get offered when you meet celebrities, but you got it for free.
Yeah.
That's right. And all I was thinking was, man, Boondock Saints, Boondock Saints. Well, everyone else would have been thinking The Walking Dead because I was sitting there with two or
Nobody
three.
pops I said Felix.
Anyway, so that is my pick, and he's like one of my all-time favorite actors as well for a really long time. So it was a gem to get to meet him as well, and I would do it again.
Would he still
If I
be your
could.
favorite if he didn't give the massage?
Yes.
That's okay.
There was barely a pause even. Like,
I'm just making sure.
But he'd
I don't
still
know
be
if
your
that's still
favorite
the
if-
deal, you know.
Yeah, no, hands down, absolutely. Just he's got that mysterious thing kind of going on too, Braedon, when he's in his roles. Maybe not with the whole mask, but like he even talks so quiet a lot of times you can't even hear what the hell
He's the man.
saying.
He's
Yeah.
the man.
try a mask. Clearly,
And
it
plus,
works.
I mean, he does shoulder massages for fans. I mean, that tops the list.
Yeah, and I have a picture right up there. Nobody can see it. It's up there.
All I see is Canadian Mjolnir, but
It's all the way at the top of my shelves.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
you won't be able to see it. If I was to try to move the camera so you could see it, the whole thing would fall apart. So we'd
Well,
just be in a
don't do
mess here. So,
it better really be worth it.
that's right. Show's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Oh, Psycho is a book. Who wrote
Oh, someone's
it?
asking if I read Psycho.
Sorry, I'm just sneaking through these.
It's Robert.
Have you all read Psycho?
I have actually.
haven't- I haven't read
I
it.
as a writer, I have to recommend it. I think it's beautifully written, but I also think there's the smoothest third person to second person shift that I have ever read in my entire life. And so from a writing standpoint, it is also brilliant. I've never seen it. It like transitioned into like the general you and then into second person. And I read it like 3 times after I read it, and I was like, wow, that's brilliant. I've never seen that done before.
It was the only thing that, I don't even want to use the word spoiled, but the only thing that diminished its effect on me, I guess, was knowing what happens because of the movie. So, but if it weren't for that, yeah, I would have been blown away. So if you haven't seen the movie, read the book.
I think you should read it anyway, everyone. It's
Still
fantastic.
worth a read if you've seen the movie. That's what you're saying, Monica? Still worth a read?
What was it? Yeah.
Still worth
For
a
sure.
read? Yeah.
And it's pretty short too. I think I
Yeah,
read
no.
it in like a day because I was so into it.
It's like 100 pages.
Look, now
Yeah.
Monica's adding to my list.
It's very short. Well, I already added to your list because you have to read my book. So
Well, exactly.
Sorry.
But two for the price of one. No?
and Fahrenheit 451. But
Oh, man.
that's your fault. You should have read that. You should have read that 10 years ago.
Look, there's
Yeah,
so much
what
to
sound
read.
do we make when you add
Nope.
a book to your list?
Yeah.
That okay? There we go. So now you got 2.
'Cause
So
it becomes a little bit of like anxiety, and I'm not one to have anxiety, but I think that's more because I have so many books to review that some authors have been waiting for over a year for a review now, and I feel so awful. But you know what? I'm only one person. I'm a full-time working mom with 2
Don't
boys.
feel awful.
So, I mean, I'll
Plus,
get to
look
it
at
when I
this.
get to it, okay?
Look at what you do here.
yeah,
I mean, seriously, tip of the cap to you, providing this platform. This is big. This is huge. Allowing indie authors,
Thank you.
especially the horror writers, to showcase their talent, showcase their books. It's an honor to be here, and good on you. Thanks for all the extra effort you put in, for sure.
I'm blushing, but you can't see
I promised
it, so
myself I
we're
wouldn't
good.
cry.
But
Absolutely.
for real though, I
Yeah.
mean, this is and to all booktubers out there, thank you for
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
It's great. It's awesome.
Before last year, I didn't know that there was a community of people that read books
Yeah.
and celebrated books and championed book and and have YouTube videos about books. Like
No joke.
discovering that was a beautiful thing. A world that seemed very obsessed
There's
with
the
reality
shiz
TV.
You're the shiz.
Yeah,
Come on now. So is Linda. Linda's the shiz. She's in here. Juicy,
Linda's good
thank you.
people.
there's a whole
You're the
lot of shiz going around.
Heidi's the shiz. Yeah, that sounds awful.
A lot of shiz going
It's just,
on in
it's
here.
just a shiz
Oh,
quiz tonight.
man. Listen, I'm gonna have to start wearing this mask for every single one of my lives, because then if I blush, you can't see it, and if I make a disgusting face, you can't see it.
That's your directive, not ours. Do you want to be able to breathe and drink water? That is water, right?
Actually, like maybe it's because like I'm just like breathing in my own moisture.
It gives you sort of like a
I'm okay. I'm hydrated. We're good.
high. Yeah. I kind of like it.
I'll get off here and I'll be like, all right, it's time to go play some Fortnite with my son.
There you go. That's a good night right there, actually.
She's physical. Hey, listen, every time I get off, hey, Mom, can we play some Fortnite now? So that's what ends up. Do any of you guys play any video games?
Consistently? Not really.
Solitaire.
Solitaire is good.
It's a classic. The last game I played would have been, there was a Spider-Man game that came out for PS4 2-3 years ago now. I loved that. I played the hell out of that. But consistently, no. I mean, it kind of depends on what's out. I like God of War. I played that.
That's a good one.
Recent one. Yeah. I was playing The Witcher at one point, but I think that was around the time that I was starting to try to have to publish a book, so it kind of fell by the wayside.
Video games do that. I don't play video games. I'm not a video game player. I'm awful at it. But during shutdown for 6 months, kids were home with me, and my son's like, please, I've been begging you for years to learn Fortnite. And I was like, okay, something I could do to bond with my oldest son. And now he has to get me away from playing.
This was the first kid ever who probably was thrilled to have his mom come and say, can you show me about Fortnite?
Moms play Fortnite too. How about you, Braedon? Do you play any video games?
Not so much anymore. Actually, none at all anymore. I used to love playing Halo 2 multiplayer back when that was popular and in play. I played a couple of the Assassin's Creed games, which were awesome.
Those ones are good.
I love the sandbox style, free roam. That was a lot of fun, but no video games anymore.
No time for it now.
No time.
Especially Assassin's Creed. Those are an investment of time.
Those are timely games. You're exactly right. You got to invest a lot, and they're fun, but again, you got to have the time.
You got to have no life, basically.
I already have no life because I just love studying. I enjoy. I play. You know what? I do play video games. I play games that we design, like simulations for in neuroscience labs. So
that's fun.
Kind of like we designed. One of my friends was designing a game that turns off proprioception in your arm, and you have to play Pac-Man. Like
proprioception. I haven't heard that word since my sister was going through a practicum. I know what that is, actually. It's the first time I've heard that word in years.
Yeah.
I think it's very cool what you're doing, what you're studying. I have this weird, my dream was always psychology. And that's what I wanted to do. I don't know why.
You should read my short story, Friction.
Yes.
It's about chronoristic disorder.
I love the human mind, the brain. It's such a powerful tool, but the weird and crazy things that it can do to us and out of nowhere. One of my all-time favorite books is a nonfiction called, oh gosh. And of course, as I'm talking about it, I have mentioned this book so many times and now I'm going to forget the name of it. It's called Unthinkable, and it's about the 9 most unusual brains. It is.
I think I've heard of that.
It's by Helen Thompson. Oh my gosh, it is good. And it's got a man who truly believes he's dead and just, I guess, whatever medical condition he has actually makes him feel like he's dead, and his body, like his heart rate and his blood pressure and everything so low he could be dead.
There's
another guy that believes it's really good. Seriously, Marcus, it's really good. There's another man who truly believes he's a tiger. It's just, it is a woman who actually went and researched. Like, these are legit, real people. It is nonfiction, and I was just so captivated by it, and it was so intriguing and interesting. So, that's probably another reason why I'm just like, Monica's my girl.
We're gonna have to talk more.
yes.
You just added that to the list. That sounds good.
It is. It is. So, speaking of which, Marcus, we've got a buddy read, House of Leaves. Have you picked it up yet? Come on now.
Have I picked it up yet? It's voluntelling doesn't work for buddy reads.
Hey,
Have
we
either
talked
of
about
you
it
read
when you.
that?
I haven't yet. I would like to, but
I haven't either. I
No.
flipped through some of the pages when I was at Books A Million the other days. It looks like
Mhm.
pure chaos from
It
front to back.
is. If you want something that's really mind bending and crazy and
Books A
trippy and
Million,
out of this
you love it.
world, and I picked up a physical copy and I was going through it and it's all over the place. And I'm like, my brain, I don't know if I'm ready for this, but I do want to dive into it. So.
Have you read it?
No, I've got it ready to go. Because Marcus said he would read it with me when we had our live show last time.
Just the style of
That's
it.
not
the
what
layout.
happened.
It looked.
Don't listen to this woman.
It looked very involved.
What? Come on. It was. We had Calvin. Was it Calvin that brought it up?
Footage or it didn't happen.
Oh, listen, it happened. I've got it on my live show. I will cut right to the clip and send it to you, and there
Fine.
you go.
Go
Because
for
you
it.
were like, I want to read that one. I'm like, oh, me too. I said maybe we should do a buddy read, and you said yeah, and I said okay. I was looking at this like $27 edition on Amazon, and I almost bought it, and I'll
That's
get a
not
copy
how I
of
remember
it.
things happening.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, proof. this is why I film these things.
Then
Okay.
prove it.
Yeah, I will. Okay, done.
All right.
Done.
Good.
Okay, moving on to the questions about you guys. Not this
Yes.
bantering between Marcus and I again. Sorry. Are you guys all working on new projects?
Anyone?
A lot. I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
So I already have a solid draft of the second book for Swine. I've had that for a couple months. I was letting
Ooh.
it sit. I'm editing that. But also I have 3 little siblings, 2 on my dad's side and 1 on my mom's side. And I feel bad that they are not included. They will not open a single page of my book. So I am also working on a middle grade horror.
Oh, yay! That's exciting.
So I just started that. So I'm hoping I'll have a draft by the end of the month. I don't know. I write pretty fast if I want to. I can probably write a draft in a week if I really wanted to, but.
It's like
That's exciting.
a
That's
children's
really, really
version of
exciting.
Swine. Called
What was
Piggy.
that?
Like a children's version of Swine called Piggy.
I think that
Yeah,
was
I didn't realize until I started writing it how violent my writing is, because it's not even the content. It's also like the metaphors you use, the figurative language. I'm like, oh, I can't use blood in my figurative language. I'm like, okay, I'm going to change that.
Oh, in a vat of ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That shows talent, though, to be able to turn off the adult and put on the children. That takes talent, because that would not be easy.
Well, you're assuming I actually did it correctly. I will not be showing this to any children until I've screened it with some adult. I'll like get younger and younger in age. I'll have like adults, then like
Shove it into a bunch of
15,
parents'
then like
faces.
10, and then I'll inch my way to my younger siblings.
Shove it into a bunch of parents' faces, throw it over to Braedon and be like, tell me if this is okay.
Yeah, I'll put a camera on the end of the book while they're reading it. And if I'll set up an algorithm that the amount of time that their face is like this, if it's more than 15% of the book, then it can't be shown to the children. I'll turn it into an experiment.
Em says that they're waiting for it. Her kids are waiting for the middle grade.
Oh yeah, I told her about some of the plot, so I will definitely be sending it her way.
That's really exciting. We read a lot of middle grade here because I've got an almost 12-year-old and then a 4-year-old. And we read a lot of like Fright Vision. Their spooky middle grade that's it's really close. It's kind of like a nostalgic feels of Goosebumps / Stranger Things. But that one's
This
almost
little
coming
piggy.
to the end. See you, James. Thanks for coming, James. So yeah, that's really exciting. But I'm going
Well,
to
you're not
assume
supposed to
you've
tell
done
me
it.
that you like reading that, because then I'll bother you when I'm done with the draft, and you'll be like, I have too much on my list, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, but let me just slip this into your book.
I'm just gonna leave this right here.
Yeah.
That's the way
You
to
don't
do
have
it.
to touch it. Maybe your kid will find her way to it.
Actually, middle grade's great because I get my 12-year-old to read it to and from school and work, and we have a half an hour commute one way. So it gets him reading out loud, and we get through books really easy that way. So yeah, if it's ready, I mean, just just place that right there.
I actually will take you up on that offer when it's done. It's very nerdy, so I also have to make sure it's not like too high level, like content wise, because it's essentially creating zombies with overactive amygdalas, and it's kind of going into I know.
I like this already. I like it.
But going into like a little, I'm not going to go too in depth, but like basically in that realm, and kids have to solve it. There's going to be kids with anxiety and touchy feely goody stuff.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, well, I'm excited already. I won't. No rush. Make it perfect. Polish it up.
Hey, if I really wanted to rush, I mean, I can. If I'm really on my A game, I can write 15,000 words in a day. So I just roll up my sleeves.
Marcus, Braedon, what about you? Can you guys do that? That's a lot.
I could barely write 1,000 some days.
Monica's a machine.
Yeah.
Really. I see some of her stories and she'll post, I just got in 40,000 words today. I just wrote a novel at lunch,
Yeah, it doesn't count if you just cut and paste Lorem Ipsum.
I just changed my son's diaper. I don't know what you want,
So you're saying that she's the version of authors that give you guys anxiety and make you think, man, I'm behind. What is this?
Hey, you
Monica, said that, I didn't.
Monica's 20 now, and by the time she is 30, you project out her writing and her talent right now, 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, it's scary to think about, truthfully, in a good way. She's very talented, and in terms of how many words she can churn out, that's scary as well. But
it's going to be rocking.
Keep doing your thing, Monica.
I'm very flattered, but the one thing that I really am confused about, you said 20 to 30 years. Bold of you to think that I'm not going to get murdered before then. I mean, writing this kind of stuff. But I am very flattered that you have faith in me to live that long. So
I have faith in most people that they won't get murdered. So you're welcome.
Let's hope
doing the research that I do and
let's keep the murderers in the pages.
I investigate.
Yeah, what Braedon said. Let's keep the murderers in the pages. Let's stick them in there. Let's leave the dark between the pages. Yeah.
Right.
Hey. I see what you did there.
I don't know. I actually considered possibly going the FBI profiler route, so I may actually get murdered.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's too funny. Moving now. Sorry. Let's move on to Braedon here because I've got somebody here poking for the audiobook.
Yes.
Life of the Vera. Thank you for that. In fact, one Billy Middleton Jr. Yes. I think that's awesome
Billy
guy.
Ray Middleton Jr.
Ray Middleton Jr. Awesome name and awesome guy.
Yes.
In fact, he only communicates via voice message, right? Instead of direct message. That's how he communicates with me. And I was like, dude, you have the sexiest voice on the platform. And then I communicate.
No, don't read it.
I thought you were telling me I couldn't hear, or you couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was me answering M without having to answer. Sorry. Go on.
But Billy was like, I finally learned how to do a voice message, and he said, dude, that is Billy. There he is.
That I did not know.
Well,
and I already told you the same. And once you're done with Ungodly, you're going to narrate Swine.
Ooh.
Well, again, it's the time. It's the missing time. I am very, very seriously considering narrating the book, especially after, after Billy Ray, the sexiest voice on the platform, told me that I should do it. That's as good of an endorsement as any. So yes.
And affordable too, because affordable too, because if you try to go out there and get a proper voice actor, it can get really costly. But audio versions are great to have because so many people consume audiobooks over physically reading now because they just don't have the time to sit down with a book for any length of time. So if you have it out there, it's a really good thing to have, but they are stupid expensive to get done.
I still can't. I've never tried one before still, because when I start listening to somebody narrate something, eventually my mind just like shuts off and I want to go to sleep, But that's just me. To each that.
Yeah,
I understand their appeal, but it's I don't know if they're for me.
Oh man, that's how I read so much. I mean, I physically read a lot because a lot of indie and small press work is not on audiobook. But all those books in between that are either, like well-known or books that I've picked up over the years, that are just kind of sitting on my shelf. That's how I consume the audiobooks.
It's getting there though. Like a lot more indie writers are going the audiobook route. I'd like to do that myself with The Miracle Sin at some point. I just,
listen, I will
need that cheddar cheese.
I will completely ruin The Nicest Parts of Hell if I go and put my voice in there for my parts. That's what I said.
Ruin
to Billy,
or make better?
I don't know. You could ask Billy that.
I think
You could ask Billy.
There you go.
Because he told me I could. He said, if once you read the book, if you want to do your parts, he can clip them in. And I'm like, I don't know. You did such a brilliant job already. I don't know if you want me to ruin that.
I don't think you ruined it.
Oh, I totally would. Just you wait till you see the advertising that he puts up. Yes, I think so. That would be great. I think you would do a fantastic job of the audiobook.
Thank you for that. It wouldn't be as muffled, obviously. I don't think I'd do it with the mask, So,
or maybe you should so that it matches the aesthetic.
Depends on which character you're voicing.
Yeah, for sure. The wide cast of characters does concern me a little bit, just because there's a lot of females, a lot of males, but the narrative itself, the narration, the exposition, I don't think would be a problem. But you never know until you try it, right?
Well, you're forgetting one thing, and that's that you have kids that you can force to do your bidding. I mean,
now you're thinking like a mother.
There it is.
That's the whole reason to have kids, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, mine are going to be science experiments. I already have a whole plan in a document. Y'all think I'm kidding? It's only positive stuff. Don't worry.
I don't think you've been kidding about anything you've said so far.
Yeah.
Why do you think I like her so much?
Yeah.
We can't see you winking.
We'll just say it's my Tourette's.
I just saw you.
I'm already doing that anyway.
Oh, you guys are too funny. Okay, now we are normally at every single live. I mentioned that we've hit the hour mark, and if you guys want to head out, or whether you're okay to keep going, if there's any questions in the chat, but we have now already surpassed that hour mark. We're hitting the hour and a half mark.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are pretty lame, so I'm just gonna head out.
Yeah. Totally.
Listen.
I got things to do and places to be, and no, I don't.
Things to write.
Yeah.
I've got to go write a novel for dinner. I mean,
yeah.
As Braedon said.
I was going to say she needs to.
That makes sense.
She needs to go open her kitchen cupboards and grab some dinner.
Yeah. Just put on cook a nice novel.
Well, just in case, if anybody has any questions left, pop them into the chat. I don't want to keep these lovely people too much longer because it is Friday night. They have families. They have things to do. However, I did say, if you were here at the beginning, that I had an announcement to share at the end. So if you have a question, try to sneak it in before then, and I'll try to pop it up for them to answer quickly. But I purchased a copy of Ungodly when I first connected with Braedon, which I actually met after he shouted out the live show I had with Marcus. But Braedon was so kind, and I hosted a giveaway for him, and he sent me a signed copy. So now I've got this copy here that's brand new, looks beautiful, right? Who wants it? Who wants it? Okay.
Out of us or people in the chat?
Anybody. So I'm going to hold a giveaway for this.
Oh.
All you have to do, I'm going to let the giveaway run for 1 week. And even if somebody is watching this after the fact, you didn't attend the live show, that's okay. You can enter this as well. Just connect with me somehow. I don't care if you leave a comment on here. Leave a comment saying that you would love to enter the giveaway. You can do that. However, please make sure that you come back and leave an actual comment. Don't say it now in the live chat because I'm not going to see it. But come back to this video after we're done the stream and leave a comment saying you would love to enter the giveaway. Send me a message on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you can find me. Just let me know you would like to enter and where you are from, and I will enter you. And then come next Friday, I will pick a winner. And it is open internationally. But please keep in mind that there are some restrictions because of COVID with shipping. There are some places that Canada is not allowed to ship into. So if you happen to be in one of those places,
It's all right.
unfortunately, I won't be able to send it, but
I don't
we
think I
can
knew
always work something out. Yeah. I think some places are still closed, but the majority of places have opened back up. There was the longest time where we couldn't ship into like certain parts of the UK and stuff because they wouldn't accept anything from
that.
us.
Yeah, that's true. Or it took
All because of this COVID stuff, right?
yeah.
So
Or it took a long time to get there.
yeah.
I remember I did send a few things that way for giveaways and things like that, and like 3 months later, somebody said, "Oh, I finally got this." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I sent that for Halloween. It's almost Christmas, but I'm not kidding. That actually happened."
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
9 weeks. It took me 9 weeks to get a book from the UK. So yeah, it may take a long time, but there may be some places that are still closed because they're closed the borders down for any shipments to come across just because of COVID. But I don't think we'll run into that problem, but if we do, we'll figure something out. But this copy is up for grabs. Just connect with me somehow. Let me know you would like to enter, and let me know where you're from, and I will enter you. So
Thank
Marcus,
you for that.
you can.
Killer boots, man.
I mean,
Was it
I'm
worth your
keeping my-
time? Was it worth your time to read? Yeah, there was a lot of hype built up over it. Was it? Did it live up to the hype?
No. Don't read it. No, I'm just kidding. Read it. Yeah, it was really, really good. I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I have to actually. I might enter this giveaway because I used my last copy for Kindling. Just kidding.
She made some dinner with it.
Yeah.
Got fired at the beginning and the end.
Listen, I would take that as a compliment because it was so good. She literally devoured it.
Well, she couldn't have literally devoured it.
She used it for dinner. She says she's got books in her cupboards for her kitchen.
It's true.
But no, it was really good. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I'm not going to give you any information on it because I have not done my full written and spoken review of it yet. So all you need to know is if I give it a 5 out of stars, I absolutely loved it, and my reviews will come up as soon as I'm off my social media break. Then those reviews will be coming up. I will actually be working on the written review of it for Goodreads and Amazon this weekend because it is a long weekend here in Canada and I can catch up on my written reviews. So yes, it was definitely worth the read, or I wouldn't be bothering giving away a copy, but I will not let you have my signed copy. That is my pride. That is my gem that will sit on my shelves and be cherished for years to come. But you can have this copy. So yeah, just connect with me. I will let it run for 1 week. So not this, I guess next Friday from today. I don't know exactly what date that is because I don't have a calendar with me, but
That would be September 10th, I think.
yes, I think you were
6,
right.
7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
10. Yeah. There you go.
Not just
I
a
will
hat
give away
rack.
this one. Well, thank
Here's
you.
what I want to know. Have you finished the plucker yet?
No. Review reads come first, man. I haven't even got into yours yet. Are you kidding me? I've got a buddy
That's fine.
plan for it.
I told you not to until you read the plucker, so that's
No, yours will
perfectly
come
okay.
first. Sorry, my review reads and my indie authors and my small press come first because I can read the books that I picked up on the side when I have time before I die.
You are doing the Lord's work. You know that?
No.
Lord,
I'll second that for sure.
I'm doing the Nichi's work. I don't know if that's a
Pig loves
thing.
books.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I did not have. Oh, see, look, even Linda said everyone needs to read Ungodly. Heidi said
you,
Marcus
Linda.
needs to read Ungodly.
Thank you, Heidi.
Yep.
Harkus apparently wants to know where babies come from.
Oh, Harkus.
Aliens.
When
storks.
two people kind of like each other and are
Kind of?
could be, yeah. And are
I don't think they
sure
even have to even know each other.
Well, that's true also.
All right.
This is the
thank you
version of
guys
it I was told. I don't know.
So what? Your parents didn't kind of like each other at all?
That's a whole. We could do a whole show on that.
They come from
Another
stocking
time.
stuffers, going
We'll
a little
talk.
too far.
I like that. Monica, we have to talk about those stocking stuffers because we need to make it a thing somehow, some way, even if we like put together some really crazy, weird stocking stuffers and send them out to a bunch of people and creep them right out. We'll figure something out. Something's got to happen. I just read ungodly and you might. Okay, I gotta stop with the comments or
Well
else I
done.
must get
Mixed
it.
up.
Well done.
Ooh, now that's
Stanley Kubrick.
a good kind of party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might have been his best.
The password is Felicio, whatever.
I've got a buddy read planned for this one
Thank you.
with a few people. That's why I've held off and haven't read it. So I'll let you know
okay.
details. And when I get
Oh,
all the
I may want to
details.
join that too because I'm part of the way through, but I'm waiting for my physical copy.
Okay. You are one of the ones that I sent out too. So yes, yours. Look for it on the way.
Marcus didn't send me a copy.
I actually did. You gave it away.
And it was signed. But it was for a Canadian horror giveaway specifically.
Yeah. Exactly.
I bought it because I wanted to support you. I bought Braedon's book too because I wanted to support it, and he still sent me a signed copy too.
You're gonna have to take a second job as a phone sex operator in order to pay for all of this.
You know, I'm not gonna say I have. Maybe I have. I just will leave it at
We all
that.
do what we got to do.
Just to be able to fulfill my addiction, my true addiction. Hey, listen, I was in a bookstore today and I did not even buy one book.
What?
That's
How
a problem.
What was there left to buy?
And they had upgraded their horror section. I have never seen a chapters in my area have that many horror books, and it wasn't just Stephen King. And I was just like a kid in a candy shop, and I didn't walk out with anything. So I did pretty dang good. So
I still haven't been inside of chapters, not since this whole catastrophe started.
But do you know why I was so good? Because it wasn't my indie and small press. I looked at my Amazon wish list, and then I was like, nope.
I'm looking at trying to get a book into chapters. It's surprisingly
hard.
Not simple. Yeah, I was gonna say
Listen, I'm part of their innovation team, so I will start poking.
Are you actually?
Yes, I will start poking. I will be like Marcus Hawke, Canadian author. Okay.
Tell me how to do that because
I
reached out to chapters and they were like, follow this link, and I went, okay, that's where I found the email to contact you. So what do I?
Yeah, I think Linda is too. If I recall, I think Linda is too. So maybe we'll have to both start poking and prodding because I've already started. Like whenever they've left comments, I'm like, we need more indie and small press, especially horror. You guys need to upgrade your horror shelves. Having a shelf and a half of horror and having one of the whole shelves just Stephen King is not enough. And when I went in there today, I don't know if they miraculously actually heard my comments and listened to me, but there was two full shelves of horror, and it was not just Stephen King. And I was just like, what is this? But I still walked out.
To be fair, his catalog is extensive, so it makes sense.
It is. But to see that they had a whole bunch of other stuff in there, like they even had Stephen Graham Jones' newest book, My Heart is a Chainsaw. And you know what? I haven't seen any of his books in there at all, not even The Only Good Indians. So,
yeah.
I mean, anyways. Sorry,
wait. What is this indie you keep talking about? I'm an Audi. Sorry, I had to. One more.
Oh man! I swear I thought you were gonna be serious, and I'm like, what?
I like a good dad joke, especially when it comes from not a dad.
Listen, we've already talked about what vibes I'm giving off. Was that on camera or off camera? I can't remember. Was it? I don't remember. I think it was off camera. The whole Mad Max, I said I would shave my head right here on camera, and it never happened. So we're safe. So yeah. All right.
I would pay to see that.
Actually, you can. It's on the news. It's on when I got my head shaved in 2017. It's on the news.
And they charge to see that?
No, I went and got my hair my head shaved with my oldest for the hair massacre.
Sounded like you were about to say, I went and got my head cut off. Am I the only one? No, it's what it sounded like. I went and got my head cut. I mean, hair shaved.
Well, I guess I kind of did. But yeah, with my oldest back in 2017 for the hair massacre.
Me too.
Yeah, see? But it didn't suit me so well, so I grew it back. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out. Braedon, Monica, Marcus, do you guys want to just, plug your book just one more time?
I want to poke my book? Yeah, I'd poke my book. The Miracle Sin, available on Amazon right now. That's the only place it's available at the moment. Somebody asked earlier if we had anything that we were working on. There's a follow-up to that in the works currently, but that's not available yet. So when it is, you'll be the first to know.
That's very exciting. Then we have this
it's
one.
It's going to be bigger than the first one? Because what are you, 450 plus with the Miracle Sin?
It actually very well might be.
Really?
We'll
Dude, that's impressive. Let me just say that. That's impressive.
Took several years to do, but thank you.
Can I say that it's $465 for the physical copy?
Even more
impressive. That's with the acknowledgments and afterward and everything. Yeah, but can I say the size of the font? Perfect. When you get a book like this and the size of the font is like the size of like a tip of a pen.
The formatting for that I did myself because I know what it's like to read things that is like, it's like the Chang gift from Community where he's squinting at the little piece of paper.
Yes.
And and the spacing as well. I was like, this is something that I'm going to be fastidious on. So
I'm not young anymore, and I do the majority of my reading when it's dark, when the whole house is asleep. So it makes it hard, and I still have perfect vision. I don't have glasses, and I have a hard time. I couldn't imagine.
I think it turns people off sometimes because it's like, wow, it's a huge book. It's really not that big. It's I'm very generous with the spacing of the font.
With the font.
Yeah.
However, I do know that a lot of publishers will, change that to try to save on print costs because of
that happened to me, and I was very angry, and I told them to change it, and they're like, "Don't worry about it. We're tired of fighting with you." And I was like, "I'm tired of fighting with you."
However, I will say this. I'm the type of person that when it comes to indie and small press, I will not only go and buy the physical copy, I will go and buy the e-copy. I will go and buy the audiobook copy if it's out there. I will cover all. So then that way it supports you guys. But then if for some reason I can't read the physical copy because the font's too small, then I crack open my Kindle, or I also have another e-reader that has all formats, which is, it's the Canadian version of whatever Barnes & Noble has. But yeah, that way I can read it no matter what. So maybe it's
I'm actually offering a special service online now. If you Venmo me $20, I'll fly to you and whisper it in your ear.
You wouldn't want to do that here. Not all the way to Canada.
That'd be a link. Do I have
to pay extra? Because it may be worth it.
Remember, 20 American is like 50 Canadian, so
Yeah.
It's what you get your money's worth.
50, like 500.
Yeah, well.
Anyways, okay, I'm sorry. We were moving on next.
We were plugging
next for Ungodly.
Thank you, Nichi, obviously, for having me here tonight and every other show you've ever done on behalf of all indie authors. It's awesome what you do. And all my readers out there who have read the book, shared their thoughts, spread the word, thank you so much. Truthfully. Yes. Means more than you know. Can't thank you enough.
And if you haven't, please do. Go pick up a copy, read it. If you haven't read The Miracle Sin, we will be doing a buddy read here in the future with a bunch of people, so let us know, and we'll join in for that and accept you with our arms wide open so we can all gush over Marcus's work. And then maybe we'll have to come on here and make fun of him because that's what I do, because he's my friend. I feel bad. I don't have a copy of Monica's book.
I have one I can show off.
I don't either. Bonus. And I want mine back. I want it in a week, Monica. Or I'm going to ask.
And I'll send you bookmarks too. That's
Michael Goodman.
That's what I gotta find.
Wait for me.
I have no bookmarks. I should do that. Good idea.
Oh no, it wasn't my idea. I stole it from Michael.
Oh, okay. Well,
I saw the
Bookmark.
smolder bookmarks and I was like,
Good
these
idea.
are great. And he's like, I'll design them for you. And I was like, yay.
you
You
go.
saw which bookmark? Sorry.
Michael, our good ones.
Oh.
Smolder.
Oh yeah.
I was
'cause-
gonna. Yeah. I was gonna say when you said Michael, I thought you were saying Michael Clark, and I'm like, man, that man is the swag of books merch. I mean,
I don't know who that is.
oh, Michael Clark is amazing, and he's got like art prints of his characters. He used to do like mugs. He's probably gonna do like T-shirts, I'm sure, in the future.
I mean, I can do the other kind of mugs. Like, give me your money. Oh.
The mug shot. Yeah.
I can offer those for free, actually.
I could just see Monica on the side of the street with like a big trench coat, and she just kind of opens up and says, "Want to buy a book?"
You want to buy a book? Yeah.
Oh my god.
And she'll have one of all of your guys. You'll have Swine there, Ungodly, The Miracle Sin, and she'll be like,
Pop the trunk of a
"Yeah."
Pinto and it's full of books.
You guys have just given me the idea for a new TikTok. Thank you.
Hey,
I'm
then
telling
this
you,
has been a
hands
success.
down, hands down. I only started a TikTok to promote authors, and you know what? Somebody told me it works, and it works. So I will keep doing TikToks if it means people will still keep buying your guys' books. So, okay. I keep saying that we're leaving and we're doing the outro, but this is what happens. There just gets, well, you guys get me giggling like a little goofball over here, and then it never ends. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. It really, or Marcus, he's sitting there giggling like a little goofball now. It means so much to me to have you guys
I'm
on.
giggling
You
like
have...
a big goofball. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll be the little, you be the big. All right.
Oh dear.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on. You guys have no idea how much it means to me. I literally am fangirling every time I get to do one of these live shows because I get to talk to people I admire so much, that I respect so much, that I have read and devoured their books and they were really good. Don't forget, this one's up for grabs. You have 1 week. Just get a hold of me. And then that's it. That's everything. And thank you guys, everyone that came in the chat to spend time with us, to ask questions, to be a part of this, or anybody that comes after the fact to watch this. It means a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I always come
And
back
that's
and
everything.
watch so I can critique everything afterwards.
Or laugh. God,
Both.
I never go back and watch. I don't know. No.
You're gonna want to rewatch and see that mask, Nikki. That mask
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to check it out.
I don't know about that. All you're gonna hear is stuff the mic right up underneath you.
It is your destiny.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you guys so much. It means so much. And thank you. And everyone have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful rest of your
Thank you.
Friday. And for
Everyone out there.
Canadians, I don't know if it's the same for in the US, but have a lovely long weekend.
Yep. Keep your stick on the ice.
Bye.